Yo, what's up guys? So this is going to be a quick video on how I won Grand Finals in the Pokemon cross-server match. There's going to be another video out soon. This is just a little in between. So we had a cross-server matchup between, there was different groups. There was groups server 1 through server 50, and then server 51 through 100 and 100 onwards. So they were all divided into 3 different groups. I was within servers 51 through 100. And I managed to win despite having 3 million less power than the person who was my opponent. So I'm going to put the replay on the bottom so you guys can see. So this is my Pokemon team. As you can see, it's the same team that I had before. The only difference between now and then is, my Pokemon have been started up a little bit more. Not anything crazy, but it was enough to win me the fights. The reason I think I won the fights was because I kept their skills specifically so they could work on auto. I only gave him Dragon Hammer, so that would be the only move he would use, and the only time he would use Break Bulldoze was if there was only one Pokemon left. So it's specifically designed to work well in a PvP auto situation, so it also works better on defense. Same thing for Dragonite, exact same moves. For Charizard, you could always have your Charizard attack with let's say burn up a few times before he uses Leer, but to get the most value of it from PvP, to keep it consistent so that my team always does the exact same thing every single turn, I only have Leer on it, and it's also self-sustained, so it never skips a turn, and it's always going to have the Leer active on the opponent. It doesn't stack in PvP, it only stacks in stages, expeditions, gyms and stuff, but not on not against another player. But it's still really good to have. I didn't have access to Rayquaza, so I wasn't able to use that one instead. Then it's Ash's Charizard. I could always have him just attack with something like Break Submission. And then he'll have no SP, so he'll have to use this one. But I think it would be better at the start of the match to get him off with Bloodline power. So from then on, they always have a stat boost when they're attacking. And I just think keeping it consistent is the way to go when you're playing on auto. Have a designated role for each Pokemon and make sure that they only serve that role. So he's only serving as a support Pokemon, so I only have him for that. So the difference between Ash's Charizard and Ash Greninja. Ash Greninja is for a special attacking team. Ash Charizard is for a physical attacking team. The reason why I like Ash Charizard on a physical attacking team better than Ash Greninja on a special attacking team is because it gives the initial speed boost with its ability. So right when the match goes off, all the Pokemon already have that speed boost, so it allows my Regigigas, which is the fastest Pokemon on my team, to get the defensive boost up as quickly as possible, so I stop taking, full damage. Whereas with Greninja, you would have to have Greninja move first and then have to use the ability. I just feel like having Regigigas have the boost right off the bat is way more important, especially in the formations when you're boosting speed. The next Pokemon would be Lilligant, and always only having that one move to keep it consistent, so it always does the same thing. And Regigigas, the exact same thing, only going to have Wide Guard on it, so he only does Wide Guard, he doesn't do anything he's not supposed to. He keeps my team very consistent. The big thing I think that helped me out was the held items. So if you look at my Garchomp, in cross server you're gonna see a lot of Kyogre, because Kyogre is one of the best disruptor Pokemons because it has access to Aqua Tail, which freezes a Pokemon for 2 turns, so it skips 2 of their turns, and there's a 50% chance of that happening. So I made sure that for every single one of my Pokemon they had this Burnt Berry. So they're immune to freeze, and I think that's the biggest thing. It's okay if they get if they fall asleep, because the next Pokemon might be able to hit it. Just make sure that every single one of your Pokemon has this Burnt Berry. It's kind of like an anti-meta item. It was my tech choice for the tournament. I think it was really important. That's probably what won me the championship, because none of my Pokemon ever got frozen. The same thing, every single Pokemon had that Burnt Berry. I think that's what helped out. That's the reason why I was able to, combat against them. They were kind of riding on that Kyogre to make me skip turns, but none of my Pokemon skipped any turns. They all did what they were supposed to. And since my team is a stage climbing team, it's not meant to be a PvP team. but it's specifically made to combat teams that are way higher in power. And that's exactly what I was facing in the cross-server matchups. So I was ready for it. I was able to absorb all the damage that they were giving me, and then when they ran out of steam, that's when I started, slowly chipping away at them, because they weren't able to control me as well as I controlled them. And my Pokemon constantly keep dishing out their attacks, so that's the reason why I think I got it. Another thing you need to keep in mind in cross servers is that it's gonna be auto when they're attacking you, so make sure you always take out your attacks. I've seen some people, when I'm attacking, they have water gun on their Milotic, and it just throws out these little bubbles at my Pokemon, and it's not what you want when you're defending. So always make sure you have the Pokemon only have the moves that they need. So take out the moves you don't need, because in PvP it's completely different. You're not the one attacking. You're the one defending when they're attacking you. Unlike in stages, you're always going to be the one attacking. You don't get to choose the moves your Pokemon use when you're defending. So make sure you always take out the moves you don't need on them. That would probably be the best way, I think, to make sure that your team gets the best possible outcomes. And for formations, it really depends on what you like. If you want to deal as much damage as possible, you're using a physical attacking team, you can have something like a water formation. If you're mixed, you can have a thunder formation. Purely special attacking, you can have a fire formation. If you want to focus on defense, use stone. Grass, if each Pokemon has a completely different role and it's mixed, this is also another option. Wind, if you're just trying to get speed, and ice is just kind of like an in-betweener. Speed and some sort of attack boosts. So it really doesn't matter. It's just kind of like a rock, paper, scissors against your opponent to see which formation they're going to use. Some of the most popular ones that I saw in there was the fire, water, and thunder, because they're the best offensively, I think. So it really doesn't matter. Just make sure you have the position correctly, and make sure the biggest thing you can have for your Pokemon in PvP is to make sure they attack or they move in the right order. So your healer Pokemon, you're almost always gonna want to make it move last. The first Pokemon you want to have move is the Pokemon that helps mitigate damage. So my Regigigas, I'm always gonna want to have it as the fastest Pokemon ever in my team, because that way it always gets the Wide Guard off first. So even if it's the first Pokemon to move in the match, then the opponent's team moves, but then it's my turn afterwards for the rest of my Pokemon, it's okay, because Regigigas already did its part. It defended and it made sure I wasn't gonna take any more damage. What you want after that is the Pokemon that boost the damage that you're gonna deal. So like Ash, Charizard, and Charizard X. The reason why you want these two is because you don't want your Pokemon to attack and then have the buffs placed on there. You always want it to be the other way around. So if it means that you have to, like, for example, if it means that you have to not give it full speed, it just so happens that at full speed my Garchomp is not faster than them. But if it so happens that you have to withhold some speed-based stones on it, then that's what you have to do to make sure that it doesn't move before they do. So you always want to keep in that order. Your defensive buffer goes first, followed by your offensive buffer, your debuffer, your attacker Pokemon, and your healer. So that's basically it. This is just a quick little video to show you guys how it went down in the PvP. And most of these Pokemon you can get for free throughout the game. Some of them, they might cost a few dollars, like Dragonite, but you could save the gems, the diamonds for Ash, Charizard, and Regigigas in the shop. It is possible. Let me show you guys the rewards. The reward that I got for this, for being first place, I got 5 Universal Shards. It says that I can exchange Pokemon Shards when needed, so I'm pretty sure it counts as any shard that I want. Hopefully it counts as Darkrai Shards also, but that's kind of cool. And you also get, this is for the playoffs. So in playoffs you got some of these. I don't know what they are yet specifically. They could change. In the Android version, I know that these do some sort of power up for your Pokemon. It might be different on the iOS version, but we'll just have to wait and see. In the meanwhile, if you did get some of these, do not open them, just in case they're different. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. If you like what you saw, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like, ring the bell for notifications every time I make a new video, because I will be posting a new video out shortly. If you need help, you could always comment in the YouTube section. I'm pretty sure there's going to be people answering your questions. But if you want more rapid responses, please feel free to join our Discord server. We have so many active members, and a lot of them are really good players. And they have very good strategies. They're always online. They can always help you out with any questions you have. Combined, I'm pretty sure we know almost everything there is to know about the game. So always feel free to join. The people are very friendly too. You can have nice conversations. Just hang out with us if you want. So we're almost there to the 100 subscribers, and we will have a raffle for 2 lifetime cards. So until the next video, see you guys.